Obulamu bugamba ki?
Owaye mpola mpozi obubu eyo.
Obulamu ewange si bubi, obulamu bulungi.
I'm even surprised nti Oluganda lwo olukubira ddala.
Oluganda twogera. A lot of people bawulira babeerako ku podcast ne bakuwulira nga oyogera Luzungu ne bakola ki? Ne balowooza nti you can't speak Luganda oba Oluganda nga lulabira. I'm Bonnie Kibuka. On my podcast, the Ugandan Boy Talk Show, I've had an honor to sit down with some of the most incredible hearts and minds from Uganda, like Miss Uganda Oliver Nakakande, Joram Ozo Job, the Executive Director of Joram Model Management, Pastor Wilson Bugembe, and many, many more. On this podcast, you get to hear raw and real life stories of their journey, what they've been through, and the people that have inspired their journey so that they can make a difference in ours. Listen to the Ugandan Boy Talk Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. Join the journey soon. Nase Avatar, welcome to the podcast.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. Thank you for hosting me, man.
Yeah. Ekifaananyi kyo kyo tekiri kiriya naye tujja kugenderaawo kase eddoboozi liri kiriya. I try to even the listeners saba omusajja agenza n'abagulira simu mpya kukola ankubye olwali naye katugenderaawo.
Silwali walai.
Mr. Nez has told me he went to the store to buy a phone purposely for the podcast, and we had actually cancelled it. Kubanga abadde late naye ensonga abadde alina ensonga lwaki abadde late. Naye omusajja yagenza abagulira essimu naye abalaba ku YouTube, you're going to excuse us if the part of it is not your phone, it's just the internet, doing this conversation over the internet. Internet egenda necyankalanamu naye kasaba kuwulira.
Great.
How is life? Would you want to do this conversation mostly in English or mixing Luganda? What do you feel more comfortable with?
Well, if you mix Luganda and English, that is Longlish. So I'm good with that.
Okay, so we're going to do Longlish. I see your work on the Instagram.
Hey,
so it's amazing. Yeah, I just following.
Why got you fake tukola?
Yeah.
Tutekayo utesi.
Yeah.
Oba mulabye oba temulabye ffe tumanya.
Nange kyenkola nkola omulimu gwange nenteekayo oba olabye oba tolabye nze ngenda sigala nkola nteekeyo w'olifulira obudde obulaba ng'olaba oba tolabye nga kusigako ng'okalekera omulala anaakalaba. But yeah, you ended up on my podcast for somehow. You were recommended by one of my guests, Luganda excels. Tell me about your relationship with Luganda.
Well, our relationship started in 2015, but before that, I'd known about him, Mugondi. You know, in 2012 there was this competition, right? Nokia Don't Break the Beat. Yeah, it was one of the finalists. Yeah, Namulira Kawo, and then there was also another guy called Nemesis.
Okay.
Yeah, very good rapper. So, Naina session with no, I had you know like how Jamaicans do rhythms?
Yeah. So rhythms of Jamaica.
So I had a hip hop rhythm.
Okay.
Yeah. One of a kind. So when I call a rhythm I needed rappers to tell a story on it. Yeah, I was challenging guys. You know, but guy banji bakubanga nyo rap mu Luzungu, but they never tell stories.
Okay.
I wanted those guys on board as well. So I had a lot of Luganda rapper, you know, Lumasaba, you know, a lot of different languages. So I asked my good friend Sosevia.
Yeah.
Sosevia is a good rapper as well, and you know, media guy. So I asked him, man, do you know of any rappers that I haven't worked with? You know, because I've literally worked with almost like barapa basinga mbayisemu chenyizo gamba.
Wayakoze kone Babaluko.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I worked with Babaluko in 2017.
Okay.
So
I didn't have you.
Two names, not yet.
Okay.
We almost did work, almost.
Okay.
And that's a story for another day. So Sevilla give me these two names, and I hit up one of the guys,
Yeah.
and that happens to be Excels. You're like, check out the guy, man. He has some nice stuff. I'm like, okay. I check out the guy, and he has something called the Week of the Excellence, and it
Yeah.
was dope.
Yeah.
It was dope. I was like, yeah, this is the guy. So mukonako netukola appointment yali ya Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a Wednesday. Then it comes through. So yali yakatuuka kyaliwe namukubirako namulagirira ndi wano ndi mutungu jangu wano no. Like, okay. So when I went to pick up the guy, it was Nemesis. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, Nemesis. And you know what's funny? I've always wanted to work with that guy.
Yeah.
And then boom, it happens through Excel, right? So we worked and he took all our tracks. We did 2 tracks. I called him for 1 track, remember?
Yeah.
But we ended up doing 2 tracks. And then we started, going on and on and
What
on.
songs of Excel did you do? Guakola Nkowola.
That day it was Let's Talk. Mama, Let's Talk.
Okay.
Yeah, I was telling, this beautiful story.
That's amazing. And that's one thing I appreciate about this platform that I created, because it's connecting me with people and from different parts of the world, different areas of the world, different journeys. And we get to listen to these stories. And that's what I love the most, because now I got connected to Luganda, Luganda connected to me, and now to you. And now we're having a conversation. And for the listeners, mubade mutulira nnyo, we talking about nenkola beat, nenkola rhythm. This man is into music. So soko wuli balisina bange Nase Avatar yani ala akolaki.
Well, Nase Avatar ndi muna Uganda ngabe mumpulira era. I'm speaking our unofficial national language. Well, Nase Avatar, I'm Mvamu North.
Okay.
Yeah, surprisingly, most people don't know that. Yeah, but I'm a Luo, and my real names are Otim Olum. Yeah.
Team.
So why Nase Avatar? Nase Avatar is a name that came into existence about 25 years ago. School times. I was looking for something. That name that will get people asking you, but man, how do you pronounce this name, man?
Yeah.
What does this mean?
Yeah.
I just coined it. I would say it has no serious meaning.
Yeah.
And then the Avatar part, that was 2012. Nakolo Luyimba, it was a rapper, some cousin of mine, colleagues. Unfortunately, he's not in the music game. Nakolo Luyimba, featuring a guy called Herbert Sensamba.
Okay.
Very good singer. Yeah, he was on the hook. So this song was so beautiful. So there's this Facebook page on Facebook page that bring together audio engineers.
Okay.
Yeah. So I happened to be in that group. Yeah, it was a group, not a page. Sorry. Then the admin was like, "Guys, let's share what we are working on." I was like, oh, "This is my opportunity to also shine."
Exactly.
As an African Ugandan. So I load this song on SoundCloud and then share it. I share the link. So these guys listen to the song and like, wow, this is beautiful, man. Which state are you from? I'm like, state? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, no, I'm from East Africa. You're like, what? East Africa? Africa? I'm like, where exactly? I'm like, Uganda. Uganda? Is that in Ghana? I'm like, no, Uganda is in East Africa.
Yeah.
So, guy, Oluyimba Lwawulira, and then imagining the song is from Africa. It was unbelievable.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, so it was like, man, you're a real audio avatar. This coming from you, you're a real audio avatar. Natyokuswala, asking the guy, what do you mean? Audio avatar kebichi. Nerekereza mukali, So, nensigala mu comments. So I saw that he commented the same on some guy's link. Yeah, I like the audio avatar in you. Then the guy responded with, yeah, I know, I'm a genius. So I'm like, hey, audio avatar is audio genius. Okay. So I just get the audio avatar and the Nase, and then it is Nase audio avatar. But then with time, I was like, let me just cut it to Nase Avatar.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the name. That's how the name Nase Avatar came about. And then I've been producing music for long. I've been doing music. I didn't produce music well until 2008, 2009, 2011.
Okay. That's amazing. I like that backstory. Ebinjagaza podcast nze nti otulwa n'omuntu wano n'akunyonyola gobeereyo ng'olowooza Nase Avatar kati kankubulire perception ng'eyange. Mbeera ngamba ono guy ngenda kuhostinga ku podcast ye Nase Avatar. Oba erinnya oba yali part of Avatar movie eno Avatar yafuluma oba erinnya yalijja yakola erinnya yalijja mu movie ya Avatar.
Most people think that way, by the way.
Kati kyekireeta emboozi z'ababodaboda kati ababodaboda agenda n'agamba gwe oli omusajja bamuyita Avatar oyo omusajja yali mu movie ya Avatar gwe tojjukira wano n'agenda ne story naye bw'atula wansi naawe n'akubuuza maani erinnya walijjawo eryo kiyambako obutafulumya wrong information. And this is now we're just laughing about it nti it's a funny thing naye mu situation endala omuntu agenda kutwala narrative ey'enjawulo nga tatudde wansi kubuuza the real story. Kiyinza okubeera mu negative form. Right now we're just laughing about it nti gayo naye ayinza okujjako oyo gayi yakola kino yakola naye nga tewakikola n'atambuza information enkyamu. But when you sit down with somebody so you see with somebody nakuwa true information from the actual person. That's why I love the podcast. That's why I love to ask these questions for people to answer those. Nammwe abawuliriza mumanye the genesis of Nase Avatar kyava kuki. So bw'ogenda mu ssomero, when you went to school, and also I wanted you to tell us what schools you went to. Kirooto ki kye walina kirooto kya kubeera music engineer, walina kirooto ki era wakivaako otya okudda mu music engineer?
Well, kati nze right from primary nalina ekirooto kyange ki ngenda kubeera artist, fine artist.
Yeah.
I was so good at fine. Yeah, anything to do with fine art, sculpture, painting, drawing. I was always good. I was always ahead of my time.
Yeah.
Kati nsoma mu primary nga nze manye ekintu kimu, artist, fine artist. Kati ntuuka mu high school, still on my same journey, right? Kati I discover music. Nti mwagala nnyo. It's like I didn't know that before until I got close to my cousin. Nina cousin wange yali yeyitanga Esco back then, bagayi b'ensambya bw'obanga wakulira nsambya edda in the 90s and early 2000s wawulirangako ku bagayi bayitanga Nick Nola. Nick Nola walingawo gayi gwe bayitanga nigga by nature, so walingawo ne Esco.
Okay.
These be three guys. So I was inspired from that era. My cousin was like my role model.
Yeah.
Kati nga mugomba nnyo guy akuba rap ayimba vocals ezakabi, so I was so inspired. And also the fact that nti naberanga nnyo ensambya, it was opposite the sharing hall awo.
Yeah.
Awo wetwaberanga awo. So I would see a lot of artists, rappers. So I got so deep into that hip hop circles, yeah. Nga ndaba nnyo Western Abrams, the guy, the different artists ababeranga awo. So I got this thing in me nti man, music is my thing. Maybe it's my calling. So nentandika okukola music actually, with the aid of my cousin, netu visiting studios ez'enjawulo. My first time to step into a recording studio was in 2002. 2002.
Mu 2002 wali ogenze kuyimba oba wali ogenze just kuyiga production?
Kati nali mperekedde my cousin.
Okay.
I'm like, man, let's go and see this guy. He has my beats, so ngenda kuzikimayo zijje mpandike ennyimba, then I record. I was like, I think this is my time to go and check out how a studio looks like.
Right.
Mbidabye in music videos, mbidabye wa film, but I've never been to one. So when took a studio neegomba how, because I found this guy, by the way, this guy I'm talking about is producer Didi.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know Didi. Yeah.
So neegomba how this guy was laying these beats on FL. By then it was like FL3. Guy ngali mukuba beat nebinyumira nnyo, the whole process. I was like, man, this is my thing. Deep down.
Yeah.
Remember, this is my thing. This is my thing. But funny, I didn't do it until 27.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But we did music. I did music. When I was in high school, I met a few other guys. Netu recording ayo kunyimba. Yeah, we did record songs. Netugeza ko performing on concerts with different artists, stages of a message semakula,
olugendo lubadde
well,
luwanvu. Yeah.
twaliyo.
I saw a picture of Morris Chia ku Instagram yo. Morris Chia naye wakolagana naye?
Well, not directly,
Okay.
but because I work with Herbert Sensamba,
Okay.
who was inspired by Morris Chiria. So when kolera Herbert Oluyimba, Morris listens to it, gets to listen to it, and
Right.
comments. And his reviews are always, they mean something to me.
I love to hear your journey and see Joy say gyenvudde ebintu ebinyumira nnyo nze okuwulira stories z'abantu n'ekintu ekirala okuinspiring omuntu omulala omwana agenda kubeera eyo nga naye ekirooto kye kubeera producer naye nga kati producer atandika atya producer akola atya like how do you even start to be a producer right? Naye kati bw'atula wansi n'awuliriza journey yo eyinza omuinspiringa nemuwa ku kyokkola nemugamba ono yakola bw'ati naawe osobola okikola bw'oti biyinza okuba nga biyinza okukyukamu katini ku mikisa gyo n'emikisa gye n'engeri how the economy is at this time so but it gives him a foundation to start kati omaze okikuba 2007 otandise ogenda otya n'ogamba kati ngenda kukola ssomero you put yourself in a position to teach other people nti n'omulala kankwateko n'omulala naye akole ki abeere nga ayiga kijja gwe okubeera onoga kati ngenda tandika essomero I think it's called Esom Music School.
Okay. I teach at Esom School of Music. I don't own it.
Okay.
Okay, kati nga bwe gaye nti bwe natuuka mu high school I discovered nti music is my thing, yeah, especially crafting it, making it, get it down on the sound thing, no producing a sound, no balancing, no leveling, no, you do all this magic that people don't know, yeah. Kuba omuntu awuliza kiwedde tamanyi what happened, behind the scenes. So when nasomanga n'amasomero ge nalondanga, there used to be those schools, that will favor me, schools ze bayita, lifeists, masomero ge nasomeramu nze.
What schools were those?
So I go to Lakeside College.
Okay.
Yeah, for my part of my O level, and then senior 4 I go to Grace High, St. Gayaza.
Yeah, I know that. Levickson je yasomero.
Yes. Kati abo bali bana bawansi nnyo.
Yeah.
They actually came in later.
Yeah.
After twamala tuvanawo. Yeah. Then there was by the even Irish Chevandula, Daniel Kanyezi also. Yeah. So when I found ngenda ku Crane High School, and Crane High School used to be like that dream school, like okuvanga nkyali muto, because it is in our area, right?
Yeah.
I'm from Luzira, guys. Mwana we Luzira, Mutungo Bina. Yeah. So Crane High School was in Chitintale. So I always wanted to go to that school because it was really free. Ate bwe ngamba free, I mean it. Nti osobola n'okkuza enviiri zo. And I always like olaba man omuguwa gugu no. Yeah, so I went to Crane High nga bwe nkola music wange. Same thing, Grace High, I was a big star.
Yeah.
Abaliyo mu 2005 mwanda bandu. I was a rapper, naina my crew. So I was very active in music. We even recorded music. Then bwe natuuka mu gundi mu A level at Crane High School, nasomanga, I'm doing my fine art. Naye nga mmanyi nti after my A level ngenda kola sound engineering. I'd now changed my mind. Yeah. Of course, the art in me is inborn.
Yeah.
Right? Now, this skill of sound engineering, man, I have to acquire it. I really have to. So when Amala senior 6, I nengamba muzeyi wange, our fathers, man, that generation. Guy nemugamba sagala genda makerere. Njagala soma sound engineering. Guy yachuka nantumulira. Like unumona good at that.
Mwana yenonese. Mwana yayuse.
He has this thing. The guy would just go quiet ngoina chomogambe. So tomanyi oba it's a yes or it's a no. You get. So nenzira omuneda nenkomawo ne mugamba njagala soma sound engineer. Then do zanala banga chiri serious. Nambuza. Do we have such a course in Uganda? Mugamba ngenda kunoonyereza ndabe nengenda nenoonya walayi nga tewali ssomero
mmanyi nakubuuza
nga tewali ssomero nga the nearest school is in Kenya, right? Kenya and then South Africa, of course, nga which parent is going to sponsor you, you know? Mukyali eri mu kageto mu karumu bbiri ate onyumya agenda Kenya, you know? So ne bigaana n'agamba genda ku university. Kati I applied for music ne bagaana okumpa ne bampa drama. Kati guy antula n'agamba, do you think you're funny? Ono guy nga mukambwe leero. Nembuuza kiki. So nali sinalaba gundi list efulumye mpadde drama. But it was my last choice eri wansi. So guy bwe yaŋŋamba ekyo I was like, man, ate kaze story kireero. Ngenda okukebera wali nga man bampadde drama ne mugamba no, you know, I didn't apply biki. Kale let me go and study fine art. Kati nengenda ku UCU ne bampa, but I didn't go there. Nalaba university empya, St. Lawrence University. I'm like, wow, I think this is it.
Eye ono nga wapasa kayanja.
Yeah, exactly. So for us, we were the second lot. That was 2008. So I joined. Nensigala nga nkola ki nsoma, but I still had the other thing in nosoma sound engineering. So it was early 2009 nali mpita ita kuna Mirembe Road yawo nendaba Esom School of Music. Kapande nengamba, what? Let me first check out these guys. Previously I'd gone to Kampala Music School, but ngatebaina these guys were still at YMCA. Ngatebaina, you know, sound engineering, tebaina music production and all that. So when I get at Esom School of Music, I found Gawaina sound engineering, Gawaina music production, you know, and all these other, you know, instruments and stuff. I was so happy. Very happy. Yeah. So nenonya obusente bwange inzijukira zali emitwalo 2. Nensomayo ka package. The lessons there were like 20 lessons at that time. Nembusoma, but I felt so great. Omanye kubanga wefunide sente zo ne wesasulira. You know, it's different, by the way.
Yeah.
The feeling is different. You know, it's so satisfying. So when I saw I felt so different. Now, my friends who didn't go to the university, kati bo basigala mu studio, right? Bo basigala mu studio nga bachikuba. Ne bakuba zi hit ne bayitawo. Kati nze when again ate nsoma music production. The other thing nange nonya hit, nange njagala kuba hit. Chavao, I realized that there is more you could do with your knowledge. A lot. Then I focus on those things. You know, baby into season on wendi lero. Sinatuka wa wendaga, but at least na wendi.
Chamani nyecho, like that is great. And I like.
So after that, when I'm kusoma, I continued with my university. I got done. Then I became a full-time producer in 2011. Yeah, I was like, you know me, I'm this kind of guy. I'm either in 100% or I'm not. There is no 50-50. Yeah. So I decided, you know what, let me do music. So I did music, name producing. Then fast forward, 2018, Esom School of Music was having like their first graduation party ever, like fast. Remember, tubadde nga tusomagire emyaka gyonna, but ng'ofunayo ka certificate n'ogende waka n'okola ki. Kati nange that time, bwe namala osoma nali sina za certificate and it was just ka 15K naye nga sizirina. Wali campus, I was like, kasa nina skills, right? Kati 2018, I could afford, nengenda, I was like, kangene nange nkole ki, kangene nkimalirize. So when I went, ne baŋŋamba, but, you know, wandikwetaaze ojja okole ki? Osomese. I was like, well, me? Yeah, you. I was like, no, never. Never. I can't teach anyone. I can't stand in front of anyone. So, but they believed in me so much, you know. So after graduation, I was like, you know, let me go and give it a shot. I stepped in class day 1, and trust me, I never looked back.
I repeat the correction. You said it like you're not the owner, because I think I mentioned he's the owner of Esom, but he's just an instructor there. But the feeling of giving back, that's all that it is, you know, like we give back in different ways, and I like people who choose that. Like, I want to give back to impact another child. Era nga twakyogerako mu kutandika nti katonda wakutuusizza naawe oyagala okukwateko ku muntu omulala omuyigirize ky'omanyi, so then there can be other people who can do that. You mentioned waddayo ku university. Waddayo ku university okumaliriza, wasoma drama nga gye baali bakuwadde oba
Kati when agenda ku university nasoma fine art.
Okay, so wamaliriza fine art.
Yes, nasoma fine art and I majored in drawing.
Okay.
But I was always I was always top of my class, always. Like I would
So do you still draw?
Well, once in a while, but draw, paint, portraits, I do all that. But it's been ages,
Yeah.
It's been ages, yeah.
Nange nasoma fine art, why I didn't take it. Sabikola ku university. I just did till senior 6. Nakola fine art senior 6. Yeah.
Beautiful, man.
Nakola
fine art. Also, nakolako as a designer.
Okay.
Yeah, after graduating, I did. Then I form, man. Agencies were fighting for me.
Yeah.
A guy. They were looking for that guy who knew how to use Mac. And there were a few.
Yeah.
There were a few guys. So Nefuna Kalimwa agency as a designer and color. I did some animation, I did some 2D graphics. Nakola, storyboarding, I did all those things. But I dropped them to focus on music.
Yeah. From your story, when I do this podcast, sikubuza muntu bibuzo. Nange kenyini, you're speaking to me first before even, because I pre-record, siganti watu live waluwa bauliza right now. You're speaking to me right now, so those words just go binyingiramu first before begine kubauliriza. Na you mentioned something nti it's a different feeling ng'oli mu ssomero, ky'osoma okyagala, ate nga weesasulira ssente ezo ng'okiraba nti I'm going to pay for myself, nkole kino ekintu, and it's coming from your heart, other than omuzadde okusindika embeera obulamu sewo naye gye bali abazadde ng'osindika mwana kusoma, genda osome twagala osome kino. Yeah. So omuzadde n'akuforcing ogenda ku ssomero, naye bw'akuforcinga si kyoyagala, kwegamba naawe kenyini nekitakubenefitinga mumu in the long run, it's just but when you do something ng'okyagala ayina ddala nga gwe weesasulira omanye akasente ko gy'okajja ekikyoyagala. So that's a different hit. So you are an award-winning producer. So walk us through the journey of winning the award and which kutuusiza.
Awards ezo. Awards ajja mu 2016. That was the first UG Hip Hop Award.
Okay.
Yes, it was 2016. I got nominated and it was a very happy moment. I remember by Exos Bajana, Machupa, and all other guys. We celebrated Paka morning.
Yeah.
Because most of my guys were nominated. Because like I said, I've worked with a lot of artists. Yeah, and most of them were nominated that day. So we celebrated. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't win. I remember also my other guys not winning. Like Excels was nominated for Best Lyricist.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he lost to The Myth. And Album of the Year, Naina almost in every category. Waka Wangawari.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't win that. But the fact that I was nominated and recognized, Choka Chandaganti, man, I'm somewhere.
Yeah.
Then the following year, era ng'emyaka wejali nti nga bulinze buli mwaka mba nkola nnyo. So the following year 2017 I won.
Nice.
Yeah, so I won, then I won again, so I won back to back.
Okay. I like to ask about awards because most people know, but listeners, but my podcast was nominated back to back too, like 2022, 2023, the Pulse Influencer Awards. And I like to ask this question for people who have won awards or who have been nominated into awards to just hear their feeling. To really catch it now, to hear you say that, like it was a great feeling. And what I learned from your story that you just shared, that I didn't win the first time, neither feeling of being nominated. It made you feel like you were somewhere or like you belonged somewhere. And you never gave up. You showed up again. Like you never gave up. Some people, they lose on an award agamba waka wange si mulungi oba biki nekikuzaamu emabega naye gwe osigala okola n'ogamba kati this is just giving me energy to go even higher. So omwaka ogwaddako n'ogiwangula so then you were back to back, and that's a lesson to anybody out there. Oba okola ki a failure should not stop you. Oba good, it just should give you more effort. I'm gonna pick myself up and that's the same thing I do. I mean, I'm lucky enough that both times I've been nominated, I won the award. Nene wembeera nga sigiwangudde sigenda gamba nti nkyagenda kulekera okukola podcast because nze waka wange gwenkola sikikolera awards. Nze kenyini nkinyumirwa okutuula wansi nenjogera n'omuntu okuwulira gye nvuddewe ne mmanya nti story eyo ngenda giteekayo ku kitimba, omwana agenda gigwako awo e Uganda agiwulirize, oluddako enkya ajja kuba wa speech ng'afuna award ye ng'agamba nawuliza story ya Nase Avatar ng'ali ku Ugandan Boy Talk Show, so nenzaamu amaanyi ensonga lwaki nfunye award eno. So then you win the award through somebody else eyawuliriza story yo. So that's how I look at it. Either you win through everything. So that's amazing. Luganda Yangamba, we ku podcast one. I think you listen. I don't know if you listen to his episode. Yagamba, you were, and actually you have it on your Instagram about Urban TV, a show you do on Saturday. Is it about music where you talk about that show?
Well,
oba nedalabika yayogerako ku ya Bukedde oba Bukedde wali
Bukedde.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is Bukedde. Well, it was 2020 lockdown, yeah. Amanyi wano baatusiba nnyo ne batandika okusumulula mpola tutadde kino. So Vision Group bagoba ba employees bangi, right? You know, Kabushenga yagoba abakozi bangi nnyo that time. N'abasala ne salaries, you know. Anyway, basically that's what was happening for, most organizations and, those big companies. So, ndiawo mu byange, then a gentleman, a legend, a veteran, and many other titles, Mr. Joseph Bate, hits me up, on my Facebook, like, hey, how are you, bro? I'm like, I'm good. Man, I've been watching your stuff, man. I'm like, okay. Nambuza. So, on the weekend of weekend of 6th June, how's your program? Ngabata day, emotoka ngazitambula. How's your program? I'm like, I'm good. Do you mind coming over, to call a show? Yakasengija. I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah. Come through.
Yeah.
Chukube 1 hour. I was like, okay. So I couldn't believe it, So time bwe yatuuka nintegeka nenumbisa. Nintuuka ku show, and here I am on national TV. I'm a panelist. We are critiquing music.
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
We are critiquing music. I could not believe it, man, because this is a show I've been watching since its inception in 2014. I've been watching like almost every Saturday. I knew these guys, like I celebrated these guys on.
Yeah.
Katikwavako Gayomu, and then I was like the replacement of that guy, Joy Tabula. So I was on. We did the show. It was very beautiful. 2 years non-stop, and then Vision Group, new CEOs and what, Nebichukamu organization is Chukamu, and now we are back again, and this time it is Urban TV.
Yeah.
Every Saturday, just different times.
So ogenda kuba leero oba it's a pre-recorded show?
Kuba.
Kuba.
6 p.m. Jakuva mvuddewo, show ya sawe. So 6 p.m. Jakuva funye ebikumba byonna biri ready wali eri Strauss citizen, n'ennumba, and it's not far. So it's beautiful. You get to critique, music wa guy atandi kuwuliriza.
Yeah.
But because it's national TV and it's a big program, they have to tune in.
Yeah.
So I got to meet very many, artists, the big name artists, kanguze kemabega back nga nchegomba okukola hit nga njagala nange nkuliku n'abayimbi abanene. But when I tried approaching them, I realized it was very hard. to get to them. But I focused on new artists.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let calculate with new artists. Okay? These guys will find me.
Mm-hmm.
And you know when to say.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? It started happening. Once I started winning the awards, once I got on TV, I started doing works that they started recognizing, and work started coming through. Yeah, so that TV thing has helped me.
Yeah.
Quick time.
That is really a good strategy. And the last bit actually, when I was starting my podcast, I wanted to have those big names, the big celebrities, to share their story on my podcast so they can inspire other kids. But like you mentioned, it's hard to get these people. Some of them, they're proud. Some of them,
There's a lot of ass kissing.
Yeah, exactly.
And some of us don't do that.
And I'm not like, yeah, you said some of us don't do that. I don't. There's one Ugandan celebrity. I'm not going to share the name. I got her contact, and I asked her to be a guest on my podcast. Somebody connected me to her, and they gave me her personal number. I reached out to her. We were talking. Yeah, we're going to record a podcast. So then this lady asks me for data. Ntimpa data. Okubeera ku podcast yo. I was like, what? I was like, oh, okay. And it's not so like data was saying make a go so cool. I could do that. But because that's not the goal, that's not what I'm looking at. Oba bubelanga go muntu but to watch no lead number you are not the right person to be here. Because first of all, ogenda kujja ne motives zondala. I like a person who wants to come here to talk. Omuntu ng'akyagala ye nga ye naye mu mutima gwe.
Nkwade 10 minutes.
I like to understand. I like people to kibenga kiva ku mutima gwe nga si kyakuforcinga. So when I saw that happening, nengamba there is a lot of kids abaagala platform. Waliyo abaana, waliyo n'abantu, si baana bokka, sorry to use kids, but there are people out there who would be willing I can come on your podcast even you, when I contacted you, hey, I'm down, bro, let's do this, let's record. Those are the kind of people I'm now going to, like, obo is famous, or what only famous, obo never followers babidi, obo you know mu. For me, when you are willing to sit down and talk about your journey with another person, what you say more kutuka wa woli oyinza kubanga you're not where you want to be, but at least you've gone through something. You are somewhere oyina woli nga tokyali ate wali ng'olina ky'osobola okugatakate ku bulamu bw'omuntu omulala. You're the right person for my show. Naye bano bakina celebrity nti ate when I reach out to gamba nedda, okay, there's another person. Like, my podcast is booked out till November. Bayinza okuba nga si baselebu, bayinza okuba nga ensi eggwanga tebamanyi, but they have done something that they can talk about. So I really understand, and I like how you decided to do that. Noga waliwo upcoming abalina music waabwe mulungi. The world has just not heard these songs, but the world will not hear these songs if these people are not given opportunity. Kigwe n'obakwatako n'ogamba ngenda kuba music waabwe, eggwanga linaabasange nga bw'ogambye banaabasange eyo mu maaso. Like, you just keep going. So I want to applaud you for that, for giving a platform to those people who have their music. And like you and I and everybody else out there who are doing this kind of thing, nti abantu ambatanika platforms nga zino ne batagetinga big numbers kuba baagala platforms zaabwe zikule, because bwendeeta Bobby Wine, bwendeeta ono guy zijja kula. No, I feel like it's the same thing that. And people have reached out to me and say, hey, man, you hosted this person the other day. I really liked what he talked about. But ne bakutaginga mu stories zaabwe nagamba, hey, kino nakiwulidde ku Ugandan Boy Talk Show. Yakoze bw'ati.
And this is the truth.
Yeah.
When you host someone, ali once go like to their level, it's very believable than a big guy.
Exactly.
Those guys, they manufacture stories. Anyway, so but we know a lot of stuff these guys do.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm not trying to keep you here in Twatansele Kona yet. I know you're preparing to go for the show as well. What has been a life lesson you've learned in life?
For real. Life lessons. Well, there is something I usually believe, yeah. Omanyi tusoma nnyo obutabo and we watch all this stuff, we watch biopics and we read all these, about guys. Naye, the truth is, man, this whole life thing has no formula. That's the truth. My truth. What I came to realize. This life thing, it has no formula. Ekikolera omulala kiyinza obutakukolera.
That is true.
Yeah. So I usually disagree with gays who are going to wake up and they tell you, do this and this will happen. And when you do this, this will happen. When you do this, this will... No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that, man. Boba ulida oyagala kola something, just go and do it, man. You never know what will happen. And you never know who's watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
I've learned that when you're so passionate about something and you keep doing it, and keep growing in it. Of course, you have to evolve. You have to keep going. Hi. You never know who's watching, man.
Yeah.
You just never know. Never. I have a lot of guys who have hit me up and guy nga ino oluyimba lwawulidde nga ne luno oluyimba walukolera maybe emitwalo 15. But because you gave it your all, guy wasalawo omukolera ekintu n'okikola n'otuukiriza because you gave it your best. Bwe kituuka eri wabweru, it has a different value it's carrying. Kati bwe value gwe tosobola gimanya gwali eno munda until you start getting people hitting you up. Hey man, ina guy wakulidde kana kayimba man. Guy walai ninayo just akakadde kamuko kamwana nkusaba tonseera. And you're like, what? Guy ampa akakadde kulima lunakola emitwalo 15,
That is true. That's a true life lesson.
Just have the passion and keep doing your stuff and grow your craft. Yeah, opportunities zo jeziri.
That's true.
Sikena kugamba sulango okola, no. I won't go into all that.
Ekyo kituufu, and I agree with that a lot. Just keep doing your work. Abantu ennaku zino internet etuyambye ate etussa nnyo dreams nyingi kubanga omuntu ogenda otandika wakawo. Bwe natandika podcast nga sometimes ofuna abantu 2 abalaba 3 naye nze tekyali ku bantu bameka abagenda okulaba. It wasn't the goal. For me it was like I did something, I put it up because no guy ntaddeyo. It was for me, I was just happy to see what I'm doing and every day to get better. They don't chikubya nengamba enchando za nyongeremu ku light, enchando za kangule ka microphone, nyongere ku audio wange. Ningamba bana abantu bajja kunsanga maaso, and it's just like ngabo gambe, there is no formula. You just have to keep going. I've never done a podcast before. Nauliza nga simaina, how do you even do a podcast? Nze nengamba ngenda kuwuliriza nze nja kuyiya mpolampola binyumira nga nange njagala kukola ekintu bwe kityo nga binyumira nengamba kati ngenda kukola bwe. Era abantu bampeereza nnyo message, hey man, can you help me how to start a podcast? How did you do that? I was like, yeah, I'm now in a position where I can help another person start theirs. So yeah, just keep doing your thing. Nga ngambye internet is good but it has killed dreams. Bw'obeera nga olaba views zange tezinya. If you're doing it for the views, bro, you're doing it for the wrong reason. So just do it.
Antikati owononya validation. Ate otafuna those views, you'll be sad.
Yeah, and then it will kill your dream, which if you kept on going, one day...
Some guy uploaded a song on YouTube, very beautiful song, and he got 100 views. Now I'm one and even to interview.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, this is your first song. First song. So just keep doing this. Keep pushing your stuff.
Yeah.
So let me ask, bobo inemikwano nkumi 2 ku Facebook, and you just get 500 people to watch your video. That is a good start.
Yeah.
Then in a family, your friends, abatali ba social media know that real life, people, human beings. I mean, share with them and you see.
Yeah.
If you won't get more views, it's laziness.
One thing I've mentioned on this podcast before is like charity begins at home kitandika naawe nze nnyumirwa ebintu byenkola bwe mala okulikodinga vidiyo eno nengyeditinga nengyiteeka ku YouTube ngenda kugiraba okuva weetandika paka weekoma. I'm going to listen to it. If I do that on every episode I release, I'm my first number one fan. You're
going to get better every time you release one.
Yeah. So njinyumirwa when you like, hey man, najinyumidwa eyo achana naye omusajja that we had a good conversation najinyumidwa kati yekubiri nkoze nti abanyongeremu oba bwenziyemu okubuuza noba mubuuza ekibuuzo bwekiti nandibuuziza ekibuuzo bwekiti. And it just helps me to get better. And that's why I listen to each and every episode I release, because I want to make the next one a better one. So, anyway, my other question. What gets you excited about life?
About life? Well, that's a wide one. What gets me excited? Well, the truth is, I'm not a routine guy. No, I'm not. And that alone excites me, you know, because you see right now on today, but and tomorrow is a Sunday. I don't know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. What was studio? I know Nina studio work. Yeah, I have studio work. You know, mixing Orimbaloli. I have to finish producing this guy's song. Then I have to go to school. Well, we routine when in now, but the only routine I might have are the two things that better for TV, every Saturday 7 p.m. attend better for school, maybe every Tuesday, every Thursday, every Friday. Yeah, but then the rest of the stuff I don't have that.
Yeah,
I don't wake up at I don't set myself to wake up at 6 a.m. every day or 7 a.m. or what. I can wake up at midday, man.
Yeah.
I can wake up at 2 p.m. I can wake up at 5.
Yeah. That is good.
Okay. And also, I'm a now guy. If there's something burning and I want to do it now, I do it now. I don't wait for tomorrow. The man that you call no. I'm that kind of guy. Basically, it is the what? The unpredictability. Of of my life.
Yeah, that's a good answer. And also,
I don't know whom I'm meeting tomorrow, or today.
Yeah.
That sanga.
Yeah.
So
tuning in, one kulaba, like abagenda kubeerako kulaba from their homes, like whatever you're gonna say, where it's gonna go. It's always exciting to see what's gonna happen. So it's a good thing. My final question, and this is a signature question for the podcast: who would you like to see on my podcast next? And you're gonna have to recommend that person to be my next guest on the podcast.
By the way, let me first commend you for that. That's a nice way of getting like the next and the next and the next.
Yeah.
When I was watching the that Dash, the Dash podcast that he did with you, and then that Luganda Excel's, recommendation came in. I'm like, wow, this is a very beautiful way of doing stuff, man. Yeah. Okay, how about I work with this, dope artist, and then I asked him, okay, recommend someone I should work with next.
Yeah.
I thought of this idea. I was like, man, I'm going to steal this idea. It's very beautiful.
Yeah.
Like singer like me digging into the crates, like YouTube nonya artist man musical work.
Yeah.
I go to TikTok, Instagram, Let me also kangateko nekano, benga mbuza ku bantu. It's very beautiful.
Before you answer that, that's the abantu bambuza nnyo. Bani bana abantu obajjawa. Kati nze honestly Nase Avatar simu meeting angako simumanyi, but he's on the podcast. We have had an hour conversation. Tetwe meeting angako.
There are poets I've seen on this podcast. I'm like, no guys simuulira angako alive. I've seen guys. I'm like, hey, these are Ugandans, man.
I like that. And when people tell me that,
like, they are home here, nenga siba manyi. Kati nange nina bangi abatamanyi abagenda okundaba. Like, who is this guy, man?
Yeah.
He's saying he's been producing music for long, but tetumumanyi, And here I am. They are getting an opportunity, to get to know me.
Chinsanyusa nyo because abantu bangamba bana ba content creator tetubamanyi, like ono akola travel ono akola, and I've not locked myself into nze ngenda hostinga just ba producer bokka. My podcast is open ku bantu bonna abakola content oba muyimbi oba model oba ki oba farmer buli omu ajja and I like that because abantu bangamba Bananga, I didn't know this person. Simanyi tebalina mu Uganda. Watch. But I like that. Kubanga, it helps us to understand. No manya, on waliya akola kino. A lot of people bangamba nnyo, mwana, okola mu nnyonyi. Siwuliranga nina muna Uganda akola akanika nnyonyi, like, things like that. Like a lot of people do that. But it's there, and when people listen to my story abatamanya abasinga ababera ku podcast, I've shared it on the podcast. Abasinga bachimanyi aba following on Instagram, they see like me working on private jets and doing that for a living.
And we didn't know that existed until we saw it. I saw it on your Instagram. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So I like that, and this is the niche. They call it a niche. Like I picked in podcast here. Abantu bakola nnyo podcast kuseka about different things, like funny things. Naye nze njagala nnyo story. Njagala nnyo story y'omuntu. Nze kenyini mwani omusajja ono yayita nalikozesa n'omukyala yazaala omwana nga alina emyaka 19 naye right now she's a radio host. Yaddeyo kusomero n'asoma nga alina emyaka 31. Naddayo n'amanyira university, and now she's a radio host. Radio mu Uganda nene. So stories like those zikuzaamu amaanyi. But anyway, sagala kujuwa nvuya nnyo njagala. Who would you like to see on my podcast next as a guest?
So this guy I've been working with, he's a designer. He's great. He's a singer. He's very good. He's a beatboxer. He's a 3-throat guy. Ever had a guy who's beatboxing at the same time singing?
Yeah,
I was like, wow, this guy is great. So this guy is called Chamik Sentongo. Check him out. He's good.
Definitely.
Multi-talented guy.
Definitely, we'll check him out and bring him to the podcast. So I want to bamulirize. Nice. I am happy. Yeah, being late and stuff and obutabodde busobozi naye kasita tukikoze
kinumye nnyo kuba kati ekisimu kyange kirwali kitudde, but anyway he's going to get me going, man. Guno mwaka gwonna nakweyaga
kagenda kuntuulamu kongera sura nkalowoozaako.
I really wanted to, this day to be very special because this is a podcast and it's going to be on YouTube and it's going to be watched like forever, man.
Yeah, thank you very much, and
thank you too, man.
Hey there, this is Bwani Kibuka, the host of the Ugandan Boy Talk Show. Thanks for watching and listening to my podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you share it with a friend and recommend somebody to this podcast. Don't forget to leave a feedback on this podcast because that's how we grow. And also don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment. Join us on our social media platforms on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. So we would love to hear from you. Thank you very much and be blessed.